Hello all, my name is Sujin George and welcome to this lecture series of engineering mechanics. Today we will be discussing about the introduction to engineering mechanics. So the contents of today's lecture is, first we will discuss about the definition of engineering mechanics, then we will look into the classification of engineering mechanics, then we will see the basic terms that is used in mechanics, and finally we learn about the laws or axioms of mechanics. So first, let us discuss the definition of engineering mechanics. Now, engineering mechanics is that branch of science which deals with the behavior of bodies in the state of rest or in motion. It means that when the body is at rest and some external agency is applied on that body, then it may happen that the body starts to move. Secondly, if the body is in motion, means if the body is moving and some agency is applied on it, then it may happen that the body may stop. So the branch of science which deals with the behavior of bodies in the state of rest or in motion is known as engineering mechanics. Now for example, this is a pen. Now this pen is in the state of rest. Now if I apply some external agency to this pen, so this pen will start to move. Also, if this pen is in a moving position, if the pen is in motion, and if we again apply some external agency to this pen, then it will stop its motion. So the branch of science which deals with the behavior of bodies in the state of rest or in motion is called as engineering mechanics. So how do we classify this engineering mechanics? So engineering mechanics can be classified in two ways. First is statics, other is dynamics. Now, as far as statics is concerned, it is when the body is at rest. Statics is applied when the body is at rest. Statics means it is static, it is at rest. And dynamics when the bodies are in motion, means when the bodies are moving. So first classification is statics, the other is dynamics. Now in dynamics, again it is sub-classified into kinematics and kinetics. So what is kinematics? Kinematics is that branch in which the forces are not considered. The forces which cause the motion. We are looking into dynamics, means bodies, they are in motion. So forces which cause the motion, they are not considered. And in this case, in kinetics, the forces which cause motion are considered. Fine. So this is the classification of engineering mechanics, and based on this classification, we will be solving or we will be dealing with these classifications of mechanics in our next classes. Next, we will go to the basic terms that is used in mechanics. So, there are several basic terms that is used. Few of them are covered over here. Now, first term is length. Now, it is a concept to measure linear distance, or you can also say that it is just the distance between any two points. For example, there is one point A and there is another point B. So if you need to find the distance between points A and B, then the concept of length comes into play. So it is just the distance between any two points, that is length. And length is denoted in meters, means the SI unit of length is meters. Fine. Then we have mass. Now what is mass? It is the amount of matter contained in a body. Means suppose there is a body and inside that how many amount of matter is present inside that body. That is defined as mass. The SI unit of mass is kg or kilogram. Then we have time. Now time, it helps to study the occurrence of events. For example, the earth rotates around its own axis in one day, or which is equal to 24 hours. Now SI unit of time is seconds, or simply seconds. In short form it is called as SEC, seconds. Then we have weight. It is a force with which a body is attracted towards the center of the earth. So the force which attracts any body towards the center of the earth is known as the weight. And the SI unit of weight is given as, SI unit is Newton. The SI unit of weight is Newton, which is denoted as capital N. And throughout mechanics, we will be dealing with forces. So force is the most important factor in mechanics, and force is defined as, it is an external agency which when applied to a body tends to change the state of rest or motion of that body. So this force, suppose there is a body, this is a surface, this is a plane surface, and on this surface a body is resting. So this body is resting if an external agency is applied to it in this direction. So what will happen? This body will tend to move in the direction of the applied force. So this force is the external agency which when applied to a body tends to change the state of rest or motion of that body. Okay. Now this force, it has many characteristics. So the characteristics of force are, first is that force has magnitude, means it has some value to it. Okay, means a force of some magnitude, for example maybe 1 Newton. A force of 1 Newton has been applied to this body, means it has some magnitude. Next, point of application. This means that the force will be applied to a single point of application, or it may also be applied to a mass point of application. Now in this case, it is the force is applied to the body at this point itself. Okay, so the other characteristic of force is the point of application. It has to be applied to some point so that the body will tend to move or tend to stop. Third is line of action. Now if you can see over here, this is a line. The force is being applied through this line. Okay, so this line is actually the control line and it is known as the line of action. And the fourth characteristic of force is direction. If the force has to be applied somewhere, it has to be applied in a given direction. So here the given direction or the given application of force is in the right direction, means the force is being applied from left to right. It is tending to move in a right direction. Okay. So these are the four characteristics of force: magnitude, point of application, line of action, and direction. If these characteristics are there, then only force can occur. If these are not there, then force will not occur. Fine. Next, we'll go to the laws of mechanics. Now, as far as the laws of mechanics is concerned, it is also called as laws or axioms of mechanics. Now, basically there are 5 laws. We'll see all the laws one by one. First is Newton's first law. Now, this law, Newton's laws, first, second and third, you must have already studied in your physics lessons. We'll again go through this. Now, first law, it states every body continues in a state of rest or uniform motion unless it is compelled to change that state by some external force acting on it. Now, what does this mean? Suppose there is a ball that is rolling on the ground. This is the ball. Now, this ball is rolling on the ground. It will roll unless it is not acted upon by some external force. Okay. Or if this ball is resting on the ground, it will rest unless it is not acted upon by some external force. Okay. That is what the first law is trying to say. Every body continues in a state of rest or uniform motion unless it is compelled to change that state by some external force acting on it. Okay. Next is Newton's second law. It states the net external force acting on a body in a direction is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum in that direction. This means that the net external force will be directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. This is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. Now, we know that momentum is nothing but it is mass into velocity. Okay. So, here we can also write this as, which is force is equal to mass into rate of change of velocity, because momentum is mass into velocity. So, mass, and here we are not considering only momentum, we are considering rate of change of momentum. So, force will be mass into rate of change of velocity, and rate of change of velocity is given as acceleration. So, force is equal to mass into acceleration. This is what the second law tries to signify. Then we have the third law, Newton's third law. It states every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Means some action, suppose there was this ball lying on the ground. Now, when this ball is lying on the ground, so it will exert some action on the ground, and the ground will also exert some equal and opposite reaction to this ball. Means the force, the action given by the ball to the ground is its weight. We know that weight always acts in the vertically downward direction, and the ground will give an equal and opposite reaction in the form of a normal reaction, and both the weight and normal reaction will be equal in magnitude but opposite in directions. Suppose this is 1 Newton weight, so here normal reaction will also be 1 Newton, but they will be in opposite direction. Next we have gravitational law of attraction. Now it states that two bodies will be attracted towards each other along their connecting line with a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between their centers. Now what this means, suppose there are two bodies. This is one body and this is the other body. Two bodies will be attracted towards each other. Suppose this is the center of both the bodies. They will be attracted towards each other along their connecting line. This is their connecting line. This is the connecting line of both the bodies, and they will be attracted with a force. So if one force of F magnitude is here and other force of the same magnitude is here, this force is directly proportional to the product of their masses. Let us say that this body has a mass m1 and this body has a mass m2, and let us say that the distance between their centers is given as small r. So it says that the force is directly proportional to the product of their masses, means this force is directly proportional to product of their masses, product of both the bodies' masses, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between their centers, means this is the distance between their centers. So this force will be inversely proportional to the square of r. Okay, and this can be written as F is proportional to m1 m2 upon r square. And if we need to insert a constant, a proportionality constant here, then this can be given as F is equal to G m1 m2 upon r square. Here this G is actually the universal gravitational constant. Universal gravitational constant, and the value of this G, is given as 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. This is the value of this capital G. Now please don't confuse this G with the small g, that is acceleration due to gravity. That value is different and this capital G value is different. This is the universal gravitational constant and its value is given as 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. Now we will see the last law of mechanics. The last law, it states, it is called as the principle of transmissibility, and it states that if a force acting on a rigid body is shifted to any other point which is on the line of action of the force, the external effect of the force on the body remains unchanged. Now what this signifies? Suppose one body is lying over here and a force is, this is the line of action of the force that is acting on this body. This is the force F. So according to the principle of transmissibility of force, if a force acting on a rigid body, this is a rigid body is a body in which deformation is negligible. When a force is applied, so there will be no deformation, there will be zero deformation. Okay, so it is shifted to any other point which is on the line of action of the force, means if this force is shifted to any other point, the external effect of the force on the body remains unchanged. Means whether you shift it anywhere on its line of action, this is the line of action of the force. Whether you shift it anywhere, its effect on the body will remain unchanged. Okay, the external effect of the force on the body remains unchanged. A more clear example could be, suppose this is the door, this is a door and one door knob is there. So, if you open this door knob from here, you will have to pull it like this. A force has to be applied in this direction. Okay. Also, if you need to open the door, again a force has to be applied in the same direction. Okay. So, here the line of action is this. The line of action is this. So, this is how the principle of transmissibility actually works. It states that force, if the force is shifted to any position on its line of action, its effect will remain unchanged on the particular body. Clear? So, these are the laws of mechanics. I hope you understood the different laws of mechanics. So, in today's lecture, we learnt about the definition of mechanics, the classification of mechanics, the basic terms that is used in mechanics, and the laws or axioms of mechanics. Thank you.